So, Five Nights at Freddy's just released, and as to be expected, there's already talks about the next chapters. So I wanted to take a moment and talk about the next possible characters that could be released. So as we know, thanks to the roadmap, the next chapter is going to be licensed with 2 survivors. Me personally, I believe this is going to be The Walking Dead, one of the survivors being Rick Grimes. I don't think you could have a chapter of this property without him. Not too long ago, there was a quote-unquote leak featuring Rick Grimes standing in the lobby, and all things considered, I think this looks really good. I would still take this with a grain of salt though. As for the second survivor, I think they could put Daryl or Michonne in, as they are both super popular and just makes sense being in the Entity's realm alongside Rick. I think they will add Michonne and have Daryl and Maggie as legendary skins. That makes the most sense to me, being that they usually add male and female counterparts in these chapters. I mean, there's definitely a chance that they don't even do an AMC collab, but a Telltale featuring Lee and Clementine. I still lean more on the show's adaptation just based on the fact they appear in other games. I have been wanting this chapter for a long time, and I think it would definitely make a lot of people happy. For the November release, there are a couple of possible licenses. Stranger Things seems to be the most likely candidate. Me personally, I don't want another Stranger Things chapter, and that's mainly because I don't want 2 Vecnas in the game. Jurassic Park and Resident Evil were also thrown into the loop. Owen Grady, Claire Dearing, and the Indoraptor would make a pretty interesting chapter. It's a little difficult for me to picture a dinosaur carrying a survivor, but they managed to have the Demogorgon and Xenomorph do it in a somewhat realistic fashion, albeit they are humanoid. As for the Resident Evil chapter, I'm sure a lot of people are against a 3rd one. As much as I love this IP, I understand it, but I will not be opposed to more content based around these characters. From everything I've seen, it seems like Jack Baker is the favorite to join the realm as a killer. Ethan and Rose would be my guess for our survivor duo, but I can also see Zoe considering Ethan and her work together in Resident Evil 7. Now that I got all the possible November chapters out of the way, let's move on to chapters in the future. The Predator seems like a no-brainer considering the Xenomorph and the Yautja are a package deal in video games. Mortal Kombat and Fortnite have featured the duo alongside the many AVP games that were made. The survivor that would release with him or her could be Dutch from the first movie or Naru from the 2022 movie titled Prey. They could even add a map based on the planet from Predators 2010. So moving on, Five Nights at Freddy's was a staple in my generation's childhood. Obviously, as we grow up, the media that entertained us starts to either fade away or inspire the next generation's entertainment, whether it be video games, movies, shows, and music. In the case of FNAF, the next generation was left with Poppy's playtime, and that's all I'm gonna say. Speaking of shows, there hasn't been a show that has piqued my interest quite like The Boys. I have been following this show since it released back in 2019, and I absolutely love it. This is a Dead by Daylight video though, so we all know where this is going. Homelander has appeared in Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, and Rainbow Six Siege. He will also inevitably end up in Fortnite, so let's just get him in DVD and call it a day. Black Noir can also appear as a Legion skin, considering he follows Homelander wherever he goes. Okay. That chapter was clearly unrealistic and not meant to be taken seriously. I'll leave you guys with one more realistic chapter that everyone has been asking for. It would be a killer chapter, no survivor needed. This killer has appeared in many games and is a staple in all types of media. That killer, of course, being the one and only Thanos!